Meta AI just released Llama 3.2 and it is by far the best small AI model in the world. In fact, it is so good that it even destroys some 100 billion parameter models like GPT 3.5. And people are already building amazing stuff with it. Like this guy who built his personal O1 by giving Llama 3.2 the ability to reflect and chain of thought. So in this video, I'll show you how you can use Llama 3.2, how you can run it locally, and at the end, I'll also show you how you can build AI agents with it. The first step is go to ollama.com and download Llama. This is what we will be using to actually run the model locally. So click on download. Once you have downloaded that, do not expect any application or user interface. This is just a terminal app, right? So later I'll show you how to actually have a nice UI so you can chat with it. But first we just need Llama. Once it finishes downloading, double click on the installer and simply install the app. Once you click on the installer, this window will pop up. So click on next and click on install. Then you have to put in your password and that's it. You have Llama installed. So now, as it says, it is time to run our first model. But we're not going to use Llama 3.1. We want Llama 3.2. So let's go back to our browser. Click on models on the top right. This will bring up the library of Llama. And then, as you can see on the top, is Llama 3.2. So click on that. And we actually want to go with the 3 billion version. And what's good about this version is that it is a super small model, meaning no matter how bad your computer is, you will be able to run it. But also, it is very powerful. It is comparable to, again, 100 billion plus models from 3-4 years ago. So what we need is copy this command, Llama run Llama 3.2. So click on copy. Then open up a terminal. On macOS, you simply type in terminal. On Windows, it is Windows R plus CMD and enter. Let me zoom this in for you guys. And then all you have to do, the last step, is paste this in. Llama run Llama 3.2, enter. And when you're doing this for the first time, you will see this exact message, pulling manifest. It will start downloading. Honestly, it takes like 5 minutes because it's a super small model, only 2 gigabytes. But once it downloads, there it is. We can chat with it. So you can say, hey, what LLM are you? And look at the speed, right? So because I have a high-end MacBook, this is very fast. Now, anytime you want to stop chatting with the model, you simply type /by and it will stop the chat. It will stop Llama. So now if you open a terminal again and run Llama, run Llama 3.2, this will work no matter if you don't have internet, no matter if you're in a tunnel, if you're on an airplane. Believe me, this is such an advantage. When I was flying from Czech Republic to Dubai, I was the only person with local LLMs on an airplane, and it helped me be a lot more productive because there was no internet. So now we can say like, help me write a Python script for a quick sort app. And it will just do that, even if you are in the middle of nowhere with no signal, right? And obviously it's not going to be perfect, but this is already pretty amazing. Now, the next step is to take this outside of the terminal and give it a nice UI. So for the UI, we're going to use AnythingLLM. So type that into Google and click on the first link. Now, before I show you how to install AnythingLLM and use it with Llama 3.2, let me tell you about my September only offer. Everyone who joins the new society in September will get a personal analysis of their job and career, whether AI will replace it, and how to upskill yourself and prepare yourself for the future. And of course, you get access to all of the exclusive content we have, such as Build AI Agents workshop, which takes you step by step to making your first AI agent, even if you aren't a programmer. So if you're serious about AI and you want to surround yourself with the smartest people in the field, then make sure to join the new society. It's the first link in the description. Now back to AnythingLLM. Once you're on the website, simply click on download AnythingLLM for desktop. I'm on Mac, Apple Silicon, so I'm going to select that. Once it's done downloading, open up your downloads folder and double click on the installer. Then simply move over the application to your apps. Obviously, if you're Windows, the process is a bit different, but hopefully you know how to install apps. I mean, you know, if you can install a video game or Slack or Zoom, you can install AnythingLLM. It's a simple application. So wait for this to finish copying. Okay, now it's done. We can close this, we can eject it. And now if I open AnythingLLM, we have to confirm that we actually want to open it. Okay, open. And this is what it should look like. So click on get started. And we have to use our own LLM, right? So scroll down and you should actually search up for Llama. Yes, Llama. Run LLMs locally on your own machine. Let's select that. And Llama model. Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's good. It already defaults to Llama 3.2. That's amazing. And we want to be using Llama 3.2 3 billion. Okay, yes, that's what we want to use. Max tokens, we can leave it as is. Click on next. Okay, data handling privacy. So LLM selection, Llama. It is completely local, only accessible on the machine. Embedding preferences, AnythingLLM embedder. Privately on our machine, and then vector database for RAG stored privately. So yeah, as you can see, AnythingLLM is built for privacy and security. So click on this. Next step, we can skip the survey actually. So next, workspace name, I'm just gonna say David Ondrej. By the way, if you're finding this video valuable, please subscribe. It takes 2 seconds and it helps out a lot. Okay, so now we're AnythingLLM. So click on new workspace, or actually we can click on David Ondrej right here, and then a new thread, and we should be using Llama 3.2. So let me see, test. Okay, who created you? Let's see. I was created by Meta AI, a company that specializes in natural language processing and artificial intelligence. My primary focus is to understand, yes. Okay, awesome. So now we're running it in an easy to use chat interface, so we don't have to use the terminal at all. And as you saw, all of the embeddings, all of the RAG, all the documents are stored privately. So if you don't have internet, you can still use it. And again, it can run on any machine. It is very powerful, very efficient, and no, you don't have to have a $5,000 computer to run this. Okay, so now let me show you how to use your own documents with it. So open up a folder with your document. Here I have a license, which is actually the official Meta AI Llama 3.2 license, but it can be any document, PDF, Word document, doesn't matter. Anything you have on your computer that is a private file that you want to chat with an AI. So we can paste that in and ask it questions about it, right? Summarize this license in a simple bullet list, okay? So, for example, a real use case I used a few days ago was a contract full of legal jargon, very difficult to understand. Now you can understand it and you don't have to share it to OpenAI, to Anthropic. It can be privately stored on a machine and still you can chat with it. So for productivity and privacy, this is a real breakthrough. Okay, here is a summary of the license agreement. Limitations of liability, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're not going to read that. Let me ask you this question. Are there any parts that are suspicious or not standard? By the way, this is a great question to ask for any legal document, any contract. The LLMs have great knowledge and it can tell you like these parts are not standard, these parts are weird or sketchy. List them out in a concise bullet list. Here's a concise list of potentially suspicious parts. Okay, so yeah, Meta excludes other big companies that have over 700 million monthly active users from using the models and other stuff, right? So amazing. Now, the thing you've been waiting for. How do you build AI agents with the Llama 3.2 model? Well, before we dive into that, let me actually point out that Llama 3.2 also has a 90 billion parameter version, which is a vision model, and that is available on Hugging Face. So if you don't know what Hugging Face is, it is basically the place where AI companies store LLMs and datasets, or anybody can really use open source models and their datasets and other stuff, right? It is basically the place where open source AI happens. So Llama 3.2 has released a bunch of models, as you can see. It is not just the 3 billion one, which we have been using right now. There's also a 1 billion parameter model, which again, could be run on your smartphone probably. Then we have the instruct models, which are fine-tuned to follow instructions. These are actually more useful for AI agents. Then we have Llama Guard, which is kind of, safety protection. We are not interested in that. And then here we have the vision models. So we have 11 billion vision model and 90 billion vision model. This one is actually even better than Claude 3 Haiku or GPT-4o Mini. So some of the best, not the super best, but like the second tier of closed source models, this completely open source models destroys them, right? And it is available on Hugging Face right now. Unfortunately, Meta has disallowed access to this model in the EU. So if you're in the EU, you can't do it. Fortunately, right now I'm in Dubai, so I'm kind of, jumping through a loophole here. You can try using a VPN, but it's not 100% success rate. So first off, you need to agree to, the license agreement. So click on expand, scroll down, and you have to fill out everything, select the country. Oh, actually, I can't fill it out. Wow. Okay, so even though I'm in Dubai, I can't fill it out because it thinks I'm from the EU, I guess. That is crazy. Anyways, if you're not from the EU, you can fill out these first name, last name, date of birth. I don't know why Meta needs this. Again, it's probably for tracking so that it doesn't get out of hand, because that would be a huge PR hit if people manage to jailbreak it, make it uncensored, and then do a bunch of chaos with it. So yeah, once you fill it out, you can download it and you can use it. As you can see, it is currently blowing up. And of course, I'm gonna link this below the video so you can see for yourself whether you have access to it or not. Now, let's finally get to building agents with Llama 3.2, because this is probably the best open source model for agents. It is super lightweight, again, can run on any machine. It is super cheap, super fast, and open source. So, it doesn't get better than that, right? Okay, what are we gonna use as the provider? So, we're gonna be using Groq for the inference. And by the way, Groq with a Q is not the same as Groq with a K. That one is from Elon. This one is a completely separate company that specializes in creating a new LPU hardware for extra fast AI models. And By extra fast, I really mean it. Let's see, like, write a Python script for a graph visualizer app, okay? Enter. Actually, first we have to create an account, so let me copy this. Let me log in real quick. Okay, once you log in, boom, 1,200 tokens per second. Okay, which model is this actually? Let's click on useful chat. This is Llama. Okay, this is not even the fastest one. Let's switch to Llama 3.2. So we have the $1 billion preview, and then we should have the $3 billion, what is this? $11 billion text preview. Oh my God. They have a bunch of different models. Okay, I didn't know this actually. So they have the 90 billion as well for text preview. Let's try that. This will not be as fast because it's a 90 billion parameter model. How fast was it? 300, I mean, 300 tokens per second is still insane, right? But we will actually use the 3 billion parameter model because this is the super fast one that is also pretty solid. So let's clear the chat and paste in the same prompt, and let's look at the speed. So boom, 1400, man. This is insane. I've seen some speeds up to 2000 tokens per second. So as you can see, not only you can use this model to power your AI agents privately, but also insanely fast. I mean, wow, 1400 tokens per second. I mean, whew. Okay, anyways, let's use the API. So once you have an account on Groq, you can use the API for free. I mean, this is not going to be free forever, but right now they are offering it for free. So let's go to Google and type in Groq API. Click on the first link, documentation, Groq Cloud. Here you need to log in, and it automatically logged me in since I just did that on Groq. So, but log in with the same account. You can use your Google account to be fast. And then we are going to follow the quick start documentation, right? So let me open up Cursor. If you don't have Cursor, watch my video on Cursor. So before we write any code, open up an empty folder. Right here, I have code. Then open up your code editor. Could be Cursor, could be VS Code, doesn't matter. Again, I have videos on both, so you can watch those if you're confused, or just ask Llama 3.2, how do I install VS Code? And it will tell you the steps. I mean, it's really simple, right? Open a folder, code, open. So now let's create a new file, main.py, just an empty Python file, nothing fancy. And now let's follow the exact steps we have from the documentation. Again, I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm going to do exactly what the documentation tells us. So please visit here to create an API key. So let's do that first because it's telling us to do that. Okay, this is loading. Create an API key. We can name it whatever. I'm going to name it Llama 3.2 video. Submit. Copy this. Actually, we can save it as a comment into our file. In the meantime, let's go back. Okay, scroll down, pip install Groq. All right, so that's what we need to do first. So first step, click on the terminal and new terminal. And since we're using Cursor, we can actually tell it to create a new Conda environment for us. You don't have to know anything about Conda if you have Cursor, which is definitely the code editor that I recommend since it's powered by AI. You can just use plain English to tell it what to do. So create a new Conda environment for me named Llama 3.2. It's going to write the prompt, it's not code, but it's a terminal command into the terminal. So all we have to do is click on run and it's going to install it for us. You don't have to remember any syntax, anything. All you have to do is hit enter twice and use English. Like English really is becoming the future programming language. Okay, so we have that. Now I can say, well, it already says here, but let's say I'm not looking at the terminal because I'm afraid of the terminal, right? So I'm going to say now activate that new environment. Submit, going to activate Llama 3.2, enter. And now, as you can see on the left, let me zoom this in a bit more. We have, okay, let me clear. Boom, Llama 3.2. We have the new environment active in the terminal. Now, go to your bottom left, and you can actually click on the interpreter and select the one right here, Llama 3.2. So the main Python file is in the same Conda environment as the terminal, okay? So let's follow Groq again. Pip install Groq, copy this, paste, boom, enter, and this should install the Groq library. Let's see what the next step is. Performing a chat completion. Okay, so API key, we're gonna set it manually, even though it's not the best practice, I don't care. So we don't have to import OS in that case, we can just copy this part. Boom, copy this. Okay, let me zoom out a bit. So this is finished installing, beautiful. I'm gonna do Command J to hide the terminal, so we have clarity. Here we can actually set it right in here as a string. So let's copy our API key, Control C, Control V in between the string. We can delete our comment from the top, save, and this should be good. Okay, we'll change this in a moment, but let's see if it works. Okay, boom, and it works. And yeah, it really was that fast. That is the 8 billion model. So we're going to use the 3 billion one from Llama 3.2, which is even better and even faster. So as you can see, this is how fast our AI agents can be running. Okay, let me close this. Man, I'm getting excited. So we need to replace our model, right? And we need to replace our prompt. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to documentation again, click on models, scroll down. Let's find the Llama 3.2, and there we are. Let's try 3 billion. Let's change the prompt to teach me something about deep learning. Okay? Answer in short. We don't want a super long response. Let's save this. Let's run it again. Boom, super fast. A subfield of machine learning, deep learning. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Pretty solid. And I mean, actually, you know what? Let me remove this. Since we have such a fast LLM, there is no need to ask for short answers. So let's see. Boom! That's an entire paragraph. Okay, you know what? Let's get even crazier. Write an entire novel about how the future of work will look like once humans have AI agents doing everything for them. Make the novel long. So let's run this. And boom! That was like 1.5 seconds. I don't know. Look at the length of this. And the beautiful part is that even if your computer is completely terrible, this will still work because we are using Groq. And Groq has a free API as of now. Again, I don't think it's going to be free forever. That's why I encourage you to do these things now, because really you have to get into the AI agents world, start building AI agents as soon as possible, because once everybody's talking about it, it's going to be too late. So let's try the 11 billion model text preview. So they probably just fine-tuned it. I'm not sure. I mean, it was released yesterday, so impressive speed by the Groq team. Let's run this. Obviously, the bigger model are going to be slightly slower, but they're going to give you higher quality outputs since they're bigger, right? Okay, this is great. Amazing. Now, let's try the 90 billion text preview. Again, the 90 billion original one, default, is a vision model, but seems like Groq made it a text model as well. So as you can see, it's taking a bit longer because it really is a more powerful model, but it's completely open source, so still one of the best. I mean, in its size, it is the best open source model. Wow, this is very long. In the year 2154, the world cusp of revolution. This should probably be an interesting read, how it thinks the future of work will look like. Anyways, we're not going to read that. We need to... All right, so how do we actually turn this into a team of agents? Well, I'm not going to use any of my programming skills. I'm going to show you how you can do it with zero programming experience, and that's by using Perplexity, in which you can actually select Llama 3.1, 405 billion, the most powerful Llama model out there, by going into the settings, scrolling down, and we want to look for the AI model section. In here, you can select any of the latest models. We want to select Sonar Huge, and if you can read carefully, it says advanced model trained by Perplexity based on Llama 3.1 405 billion. So let's select that, and we're only going to be using Llama models, only open source models, to build our team of agents, right? So, okay, now that Sonar Huge, Llama 3.1 405 billion, is powering our chats, let's click on the Perplexity logo, select our focus to be writing, reasoning. Wow, I did not know Perplexity had reasoning. Well, now you know, guys, this is a new feature. Anyways, let's click on writing because we do not need web search, and we're going to paste our code into it and say, boom, I need you to help me turn this into a team of AI agents. Right now, it is just one API completion from Groq running the new Llama 3.2 model. However, I want a team of 3 different agents, each of which will be a function wrapping the API call. Let's do a programming team. It will be a programming team of agents with the, let's see, okay, maybe we can ask it actually, with 3 unique agents. You propose which roles are most suited for this team. Keep it simple and make sure each agent gets the output from the previous one using simple variables, and the last agent outputs it as a Python file. The goal of this team of agents is to help me develop any app or script, even if I have no programming skills whatsoever. So make sure to add enough debugging print statements so the user knows what's happening. Keep the code clean and easy to understand with explanatory comments. Okay, so this is pretty thorough prompt I wrote. You don't have to be this thorough, but might as well, right? Okay, so now Llama 3.1405 billion, these names are getting ridiculous. Basically, right now we're using Llama, the biggest one, 405 billion, through Perplexity. And it is writing the code for us. We are going to build our team of agents, and we could be using Llama to power them locally, but if we want to use the 90 billion version, I mean, yeah, you would need, I'm not sure even if the best computers can power this. It's a very, very big model. Obviously, 3 billion, 11 billion, those can be run locally, no problem. But 90 billion, we probably need Groq to run this, okay? Let's see our script. As you can see, it is significantly slower because it's a 405B, but it is also much smarter. So we have the client initialized. We don't need to redo that part. Then we have idea agent, then design agent, and then code agent, okay? So let's copy this part that we don't have, and let's replace what we do have, paste. So as you can see, 68 lines of code, and I haven't written a single one of them. This is the magic of AI, guys. So idea agent generates an idea for the app or script based on user input. So it takes user input and then, okay, prompt. Yeah, so that'll be user input. Prompt equals, yeah, so here we define what we want to create. Helps manage user task. Actually, let's do write a Python app that visualizes, let's see, CSV spreadsheets into graphs. I mean, I know there are Python libraries for this, but let's say we need something custom, right? Okay, so generate the app based on user input. So the prompt is the parameter in the function. Okay, so far so good. Role user, we're using the 90 billion, the biggest Llama 3.2 model. Then we return the idea and we get a print statement. Then the design agent generate a design for the app or script based on the idea. Obviously, these prompts could be improved a lot. I'm trying to fit everything into one video, not make it a 4-hour developer live stream. Okay, and then code agent. Generate code for the app based on the design. So we feeded the design based on the previous agent. So as you can see, each agent is building on top of the last one. And this one outputs the file as a Python file, generated code. All right, so write a Python script. Yeah, so this should be interesting. Actually, let's make it something visual. Write a Python script that showcases a unique visual 2D game that's not Snake. Okay, everybody's doing Snake. We want to do a Snake. We won't do Snake. Let's run it. Generating idea. Okay, so now it's calling the first agent. Boom. Wait, that's it? There's no. wait. Design agent. Did it skip the design agent? What happened? Why was it so fast? Idea, design agent, idea, code agent, design. Wow. And we have the file. That is crazy. Okay, but we have some text. All right, let's improve it. We can fix this easily. So what we need to do is actually, let's delete this file. We don't want it anymore. We need to put right here, write code for following app design. Boom. Design. And this should actually be an F string. And this should be inside of it. And let's use some cursor capabilities. I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to say Control-K, update this system prompt so that it's explicitly told to the LLM to only output the final code, no other text. Repeat this twice in different wording. Okay, generate, and it will rewrite that. Boom, accept. So now we can see, if we go to the right, important, only output the final code without any X. So you can use Cursor to write system prompts as well, so to save like insane amounts of time. So let's run it again. We have deleted the file, generating idea. I don't know why it skipped the design, or was it design agent that fast? Oh, now, okay, generating design, okay, boom. Now it makes sense, generating code. And now we should see the new file right here. We still have this kind of Python, weird Python thing. Whatever, let's delete that. 150 lines of code, oh my God. Okay, let's save it and let's run it. We get an error though. No, okay, we don't have Pygame installed. Okay, so I'm gonna do Control K, install Pygame pip. Pip install Pygame, enter. So if you're using Cursor, you don't need to worry about errors because you know the LLM can fix them for you. Okay, successfully installed Pygame, so let's run it again. It's running. I'm not sure if this is going to work on the first try or not. And we have an error. Okay, maybe let me change the prompt. This might be too advanced. Write a simple Python script that shows some cool animation. Keep it simple. Okay, we don't want to do something crazy because I don't have time to debug it right now. Generating idea, design agent is getting to work. But as you can see, this is super fast. Like the fact that we're using an open source model and it's building an entire application in like 3 seconds, that's pretty crazy. And again, you can do this locally. No, probably not with the 90 billion version, but definitely with the 3 billion and 11 billion. So let's run this. And boom, we have an animation. I don't know if it's interactive or not. Probably isn't, but it's a cool animation coded in Python with the new Llama 3.2, with our programming built by our programming team of agents. I don't know about you, but I think this is pretty amazing. Again, if you're serious about AI and you want to prepare for the future, make sure to join our community. This is a place of 500 of the smartest people at the cutting edge of AI, and there's so much advanced stuff. Like, for example, October 1st, we're releasing an advanced tutorial on Cursor, which is the IDE I've been using this entire video, and there's so many other exclusive pieces of content in the classroom. Plus, you can do one-on-one calls with me where you can ask me anything. It is really the best investment you can make if you care about AI and the future. So again, it's the first link in the description. Make sure to join, give it a try, and even if you don't, thank you for watching and have a great rest of the day.